Okay, I'm not going to try and make this video super long or anything because I made multiple community posts talk about the matter. Probably would have talking a much more on the community tab if YouTube didn't give me stupid nonsense where I had to, get an ID or whatever to be able to make more community tab posts, but whatever. Just what happened between Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Carson Hocevar, that was just disgraceful. I'm going to keep it real. That should have not happened. The fact people are trying to put that on Stenhouse, that's so stupid, man. I don't care what you think. Hocevar was in the wrong there. He clearly didn't even try to back out of the throttle. Didn't see it when I first saw it. It's just another instance where that guy is impatient. He literally did the same exact fucking thing he did to Harrison Burton last year, but to a lesser scale since that was under caution. He just gets a little slap on the wrist. That's it. This should be more than just a slap on a wrist. He literally ruined someone's race and could have even ruined their season. Because if you don't know, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was 15th in the chase grid. He was gonna be in. Now he could have lost, or he was 15th, I think, or 13th in the actual points. Now he might lose 5 spots, and he's now out of the chase. Like, what the fuck were you thinking, Carson Hocevar? What the fuck were you thinking? You fucking idiot. I can't believe he did that. I guess Stenhouse went down late to block, but it didn't give Hocevar the right to just drive right through him. That was stupid. And the fact that Ricky couldn't take matter into his own hands and actually fight Hocevar because Car would have penalized him, that just shows you how fucking corrupt the sport is. They're so soft. Every single one of these goddamn leaders of NASCAR, they all need to be fired. Because let the bloody boys have at it, for Christ's sake. Like, come on. Like, Ricky had every single right to come up to Hocevar and just clock him in the face. Or punch the ever-living fuck out of him. But NASCAR would have fined him $75,000 or even more because according to their bullshit, he was the one that instigated it when he was the one that got wrecked. So by that but from what I'm getting from that is that you could be a douchebag on the racetrack, you can race people like shit, you can wreck them out for no reason, but when you yourself try and fight them, oh, you're the one that gets fined. So the bully gets away with it. That makes perfect fucking sense. Good lord, this is embarrassing. Why does NASCAR have to come down to this every fiddlesticks weeks? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know why they like to promote this garbage, thinking that it's all right for the sport. Like, Carson Hocevar needs an ass whipping. He needs to know not to do this. And the best place for Stenhouse to get his revenge is Michigan, Hocevar's home state. That should, if Stenhouse goes through with it, hopefully he does, that better send a message across to Hocevar to not fuck around with anybody. Because this moron wrecked a couple people in Atlanta a few months ago. He finished second. Guess where he finished today? Second. So I guess whenever he runs like a moron, he can back into a top 5 finish despite not really earning it for the shit he's done on the track. Oh, and people want to say about Corey LaJoy and Watkins Glen last year. Well, there's a big difference, pal. LaJoy in that race, first turn for whatever fucking corner it was, it didn't look intentional. Like LaJoy clearly, from my point of view, he just got a little loose or jumped the curve, and then that's what caused it. He didn't want to wreck Kyle Busch, but this, to me, seems more malicious. This seems more aggravating. Seems more infuriating. And yet people are defending Hocevar. It's just what a joke. I wish NASCAR would do something about it. Talk to these young guys not to race people like shit on the track. I really wish they would, because this is unacceptable. There's no excuse as to why Hocevar should have done that. None. None whatsoever. I don't care if he was on NASCAR Dex or Double E Cup Series by Eric Estep years ago. He's not immune from criticism. Alright? Simple as that. I think the only people are saying that's only Ricky's fault because they have a vendetta against Ricky. That's probably the only goddamn reason why. Like another thing is that people upset LaJoy for what happened at Watkins Glen. They should also be upset with what Carson Hocevar did to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They should be, but some of them aren't for some reason. Just the inconsistency. And one of them didn't look like to be on purpose, while the other one, the guy didn't even try to back out of the goddamn throttle. Road course, you could chalk that up to it's a tight turn. Like for crying out loud, LaJoy went over the bloody thing that hopped him in the air. This was on a flat track, on a flat turn, and just Hocevar drove for Stenhouse for no fucking reason, and he gets second. Why? Why did the best things in racing go to the most douchebaggery type of people? Why? Why the actual hard-working drivers that have performed well under funded equipment like Landon Castle, Brandon Brown, who else am I trying to think about? Kyle Weatherman, Brett Moffitt. How come they all get screwed and kicked to the curb, and yet you got Connor Jones, you got all these Chris Wright, you got all these other motherfuckers who've just been absolutely atrocious that are racing in the sport, and yet they get away with it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And Carson Hocevar is talented enough not to do that, but he did. Could have traffic been in the way? Yes, but like Hocevar could have done so much more. He could have easily backed out of the throttle a lot sooner than he did, but he just stayed in the throttle and just took out Stenhouse. So frustrating. I don't know why people like to defend that. I just don't. I'm just so frustrating. That honestly ruined the whole race for me. Because I didn't really give much of a fuck to pay attention to the rest of the race. Something needs to be done. This can't keep going on. This guy needs a wake-up call and needs to have it be at his home track. That's hopefully the only reason, the only way it'll get through his skull to not do this crap anywhere else. Good gracious. Please, Ricky, do us all a favor and just take him out at Michigan. Show him that he's not show him that he's not more important than everyone else is. Please. You did not deserve to have your season get screwed over because of some fucking bitchy rich kid that. God damn it. You'd think what happened last year at Nashville where he wrecked Harrison Burton under caution, you think that would be a wake up call not to do this again? Well, this was worse than that. A lot worse, in fact. This was under green. It was at full speed, pretty much, when that was just a little spin under caution. Like, it got even so bad to the. I'm surprised I didn't even mention this earlier. It got so bad to the point Josh Berry was wanting, was advising or was trying to tell Stenhouse to punch the 77 driver. Like, if you don't believe me, go to onfree.com, go to one of the NASCAR articles. Sure enough, on Josh Berry's radio, he said that. So you got other drivers saying that about you. That's just bad. That's a bad look on Carson Hocevar. That's a bad look on that whole team. Maybe it was a good thing that the engine expired at Charlotte last weekend. Now I don't feel bad for that. Knowing what he would have done, knowing what he did a week later. So yeah, I told you this video wasn't going to be super long. I'm not going to make it like over 20 bloody minutes, so I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Hopefully on a more positive video, because I'm tired of doing these stupid goddamn fucking videos. Bye.